Starting over sounds exciting until you're actually in it, because no one tells you just how disorientating it can really be. And I know this because last year, for the second time in my life, my wife and I packed up all our stuff in cardboard boxes, scribbled some titles on it in permanent marker, and shipped it, hoping one day we'd see it again. This time it was heading back to Australia after being overseas for 10 years. And through each stage of this transition of starting over, it challenged what I thought I knew about that journey. So if you're going through some big changes in your life, whether it's a career move, a location move, or something else big and important, hopefully there's some nuggets of wisdom in here that will help you navigate it just that little bit better. Now, our year started in a sense of reflection around what the year would come. And like all decisions to start over, it came from a sense of pain and uncertainty around, is there a better way here? Now, for me, it was a business one. We had a company that was growing, had revenue, customers, all that stuff, but it just wasn't where it needed to be to get to the next step of the journey. And this hurt because they say that happiness is reality divided by expectations. And we had some big expectations for this company. But we made that decision. And it felt like a giant backpack coming off my shoulders. Not one filled with camping gear and trail mix, but one of stress and anxiety, uncertainty around the company and what the future would hold. But once we made that decision, we were ready to go the next path. But life doesn't work that way. Normally we enter a place called the waiting place. And I'm stealing this from Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Places You'll Go, which is an awesome children's book and even great for adults. But the waiting place is where people are waiting for external events to change their life. And we all go through this at some point in our life. And there's a few lines, they say like waiting for the snow to come, waiting for the rain to go, waiting around for a yes or no. All these people are just waiting for something else to happen in their life. It's a tough place to be in because you want to go to the next step. You want to go to the new journey. But we were in that place and we couldn't wait to get out of there. But the thing was, like all waiting places, there's one answer of how we get out of it, which is action, just raw action of going to the next thing. They say that God feeds the birds, but he doesn't hand them the worm. So we got moving. We said, what's next for us? And if you're going through that waiting place, just know that action is the answer. So we decided to move back to Australia. And if you've ever moved a family 12,000 kilometers across the Pacific Ocean or elsewhere in the world, you know that it's very expensive and you don't take a lot of stuff. So you end up decluttering and saying goodbye to a lot of things. Now for us, it was packing up a bunch of stuff, sending it to the thrift store, packing up some sentimental things and shipping it. But this whole decluttering really was transformative in letting go of stuff. And I kept thinking about this story of the man in the canoe, where a man sets his sights on climbing this big mountain. And he starts walking it and he gets to a river. And in this river, he builds a canoe and he gets across it and he gets to the other side. And instead of letting go of this canoe, he decides to carry it for the rest of his journey. He carries it because he's got a fear that he might need it again, or gratitude for it, even just out of habit. And we all carry these canoes in our life. They're not just things. They could be relationships, they could be beliefs, they could be systems, whatever. But sometimes we need to recognize what canoes are we carrying that no longer serve us and to let go of them. And this was that period in our journey of realizing that there's some stuff we just don't need anymore around who we want to be and the life we want to build in the future. And that was that part of the journey. And the next one was actually getting grounded. And this was where we really felt like we were starting over. Now, starting anything new is messy, whether it's a business, a relationship, something else, because you don't have the systems or the rituals, or the habits to do it effectively. And I was in that place of working out of hallways and living out of suitcases. I just didn't feel dialed in. And I found that when I had a messy environment, I had a messy mind, and I couldn't get that right rhythm or get locked in on the things that I wanted to propel me and our family forward. But I found that once I got that stuff locked and I started piece by piece getting these things and these habits in my life that I wanted to set myself up for, I could then better help other people and support them. It's sort of like the oxygen masks, which you hear about on the safety videos of planes, where they say you need to put your own mask first before you can actually help others. And that was what I picked up, which is about getting me dialed in first before I could really support other people. And throughout all of this, I'd be lying if I say that I knew what each step in that journey would take. But I did know that if we just trusted the process and kept putting one foot in front of the other along that transition of starting over, we would eventually get to where we needed to go. They say that the path illuminates as you walk it. And it felt like sometimes we were moving one step forward and two steps back, but we knew that one step in front of the other, we would keep going and get to where we wanted to be. If you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments below. I'll see you on the next episode. Yahoo!